Hey everyone, uh, it's been an interesting last 5 rounds of the tournament. I can't wait to share them with you. Uh, Two games from this second day are games I'm intending to annotate and maybe use in some instructive form in the future. The other seven can be used for as well, but two are exceptionally interesting in my opinion. Uh, I'm going to recover the games now. As you can see, we have the four games that I played mentioned here at the bottom of the database, even though I see myself on the white side twice. So let's open a board pressing the button here or Control N and see if I can recover the last 5 games. But before I do, I would like to. By the way, I came back 6 hours ago, and I should have done the recovery then. But I also wanted to stream, and I had a lot of things on my mind because it's the weekend. So now it's time to finally get to work, and I'm kind of not setting the right example because I just mentioned yesterday, and I will keep mentioning that it's a good idea to do it instantly before doing anything else. So, just to be fair, I mentioned that I did do it on my way home this time. So while driving back, I was not. I wasn't driving, but while someone else was driving me, I was trying to recover them in my mind, and when I had trouble a little bit over the phone with chess base. So the overall result was that I'm not 100% sure, but there is more chance for me to succeed now, even though 6 hours has passed, because I had this small practice, let's call it this way, on my way back. So before I start recovering without commentating too much, I'm gonna make sure that the video actually has sound, because well, sometimes it simply doesn't. Who knows why? So let's see if I can hear. Yeah, it works well. So now I'm just going to enter the games. So I'm gonna have on the second monitor the chess results page open so that I can see who was my opponent in case I forget. But for the moment, the details are not in front of me. It's just one click away in case I happen to forget it. So one moment. Okay, now it's one click away. So round number 5. Just to remind you, I had 3 out of 4, and I will reveal a small detail. I somehow managed to win the tournament, or to be more exact, share first place with with another person who technically won the tournament because of better tie breaks. And this is the same guy I played in this particular round, and oh boy, you are up for a ride. I'm not gonna commentate. I'm a little bit embarrassed for sharing this with you, but well, I'm gonna make no excuses. Just mention that the fact that these things happen to me means that it can happen to anyone, at least those who might consider themselves weaker chess-wise, and it might be consulting for you to see me playing so badly, as I'll demonstrate soon. So I'm playing white. I'm just recovering, and don't try to understand too much. This is for my own sake of recovering the game. And just here, instead of making the move I intended with his rook f8 checking d7 bishop d2, which should be winning, I decided bishop d2 immediately is stronger, missing knight h6. Now instead of my opponent resigning, I'm in trouble. And yeah, I didn't manage to solve it because this bishop is trapped and I was having time trouble. I was even late by 4 minutes to the game, which doesn't help when you have only 20 minutes on the clock. So knight a2 was probably better. I played knight e4. He went king c7. Yeah, and as you can see, instead of winning, I'm suddenly very close to losing. Now he took b3, knight b4. Now is the tricky part. I think he played knight f5. I played rook f4, rook c4 check, king to b something. 6 or 7. In both cases, I remember playing rook c3. I think I was worried about rook c8, which he didn't play, so this must have been the case. And now he played knight d6. I played king f1, he played rook e8. I think I played king e2. And now I play knight a2, if I'm not wrong. Actually, not king e2. May have played rook c5 and back. And then something like knight a2. Takes, takes, takes. He went back. I think I played king f2. Knight f5. Whoa, sorry, the rook is hanging. Something is missing. I think it's rook d2. By the way, my opponent had 4 out of 4, I had 3 out of 4. Had I won, assuming I played one more accurate move in the opening and winning the game completely, I would be sharing first place with him with 4 out of 5 and probably 1 or 2 more people. So here knight f5. I think I played rook d7. It's really hard to remember. No, king f2 probably. This is the type of position that's hard to recover because he has so many options and he's winning, and it's hard to follow the logic when I don't have much time. But if I'm not wrong, he made some move. Then I played something like rook d7, then h5. He didn't take on e3. From what I remember, it was something like rook c8 taking place, but it doesn't make sense. Maybe king c5. I think rook d7, h5, check, and then something like rook f7, and now rook c8. Rook f6 check, now rook c6, knight c4 check, takes, and now I resigned. So this was the very sad game, and the first game of the round of the day that took place in the morning. I can make many excuses. I didn't wake up, I didn't concentrate, but honestly what really happened is that I just missed knight h6 and I was too greedy in a winning position. I wanted to win instantly rather than be practical. So I used up a lot of time and then played the blunder. Yeah, it's very painful. But I like to tell myself in such cases that now is your test. I'm talking to myself in second body. I'm like in my thoughts. I'm saying, Tal, it's very painful, but how you deal with pain will determine whether you're a winner or not. And this is your real test, not to win all the games. Now, after such a painful loss, when you would have joined the leaders, this is your test. If you can play, like regroup, play some decent chess in the last 4 rounds, then it will be might come out stronger out of this experience. So here, without revealing too much, I'll just put the games and see what we had. By the way, hi Andres, Monir. Why are men in my shoes? Wow. Hello, Northwave. Thank you for joining the stream. Thanks to all the silent ones who are not participating in the chat. So, second game of the day. I'm playing in round number 6. I'm with 3 out of 5. I'm playing black. I'm playing against a low rated opponent, and compared to the previous one. Now d4 and bishop f4. Normally d5 or g6 are the main moves, even c5, but I thought he might know an idea or two, so I decided to go for b6, which is a move that's usually less symmetrical because you cannot play b3 bishop b2 himself, so there's more chance of a struggle to take place. Yeah, now the main move is e6, but I chose to play g6 just to mix things up a bit. And well, from what I remember, now I played h3, castle, bishop e2, knight d7, queen c2, rook e8. I didn't want to allow rook d1, but I ended up doing the same thing exactly. Maybe it was better because then the rook wouldn't have come from f1. I played it in this move order, now rook f d1. So now I did something that I usually do against players, any players, but I don't know what exactly to do. I want to play e5, but doing it immediately might be helpful, so I just waited. And by playing b4, it kind of gave me a target, because now b4 is hanging. So I'm not sure if it's objectively good for me, but it's much more difficult for him to simplify the position. So we had this. Now once again, I don't know what to do. I played king h7, waiting, and once again he moved his knight back away from the center, allowing me to come closer. f3, knight g5, so he's already provoking. I'm kind of somehow provoking some weaknesses. Even if it's good for him, there is more play going just because I made some waiting moves. So it's a very useful strategy to play like this, even against strong players. When they have a choice, they have more chances to make mistakes. Took, knight e6. Now he played c5 with the idea of bishop c4, and it's an interesting idea. I think he missed my response, bishop c6, and even here he took on e6 after thinking for a few minutes, and I think he missed this move, bishop a4, which is relatively simple. I don't know what he missed. I just win an exchange, and here c takes b4. Probably not here. Rook fd8 as they played, and now cb4 would have been probably winning. I played this horrible move, and now suddenly I thought I had some good winning chances, and here I couldn't find anything for some reason, and I decided to go queen h4. And well, this is kind of annoying, I have to admit. My original intention, by the way, was to play queen h4 with the idea of queen f2, and after king h1 to go queen f2 attacking e3 and g2, and I thought I was winning. And to my horror, I was like having my hand in the air and about to touch the queen, and to my horror I realized that after queen h4 there's bishop g6 check, and I lose the queen. So I'm lucky to have discovered it on time. After rook a2, okay, at least I'm not lost. So the game is still very complicated. I took, and here I repeated the position 3 times because I had not enough time, but I didn't want to draw, so I was just making the moves back and forth, and while he was thinking, I was trying to calculate the continuation. I don't know what the rules are, but the games are not being broadcasted, so if there is no arbiter looking, I don't think it's legal to claim a draw. But it wasn't very sportsmanlike of me to repeat the position 3 times without agreeing to a draw, so I was a bit nervous from the time, and I shouldn't have done it. So here, rook a1 was my intention. I was calculating it. Another funky idea that I had in mind is queen b2, bishop takes g6 is the move I was thinking. And now there's an amazing concept of king h8, because if I take, he has a perpetual at least, but king h8 is very complicated. So with time pressure I decided not to go for it, And I played rook a1. He played. So if bishop c6, I have this idea in mind. With queen a1, I think I'm close to winning with bishop p5 check and rook h1 check coming in the game. He played unfortunately a losing move, and I had like 20 seconds, and I managed to find, like I thought until I had less than 10 seconds, and I managed to find this idea. Not too difficult, but with time pressure, it's possible to miss many things. The game didn't last very long. Okay, so black won. This was round 6. Okay, next game I'm playing white. I played against someone strong, a grandmaster in fact. This was probably the game of the tournament from aesthetic point of view. From my games, I'm not saying it was better than anyone else's game, but you'll see what I'm talking about. We had a very beautiful position at some point, at least to my aesthetic pleasure, let's say. So mainline theory, and now he played a move that's not considered to be mainline, e5. I believe rook b1 should be the best. I didn't know it at the time. I played queen b3. I actually don't really know it now, but I just quickly checked with the engine on the phone afterwards, on the way back actually, not between the rounds, and yeah, and I just figured out that I should have played rook b1. Yeah, I think it was quite shallow, but I think it's better. He played knight a6. Again, taking on a6 was probably better, but I wanted to wait. And here he had an amazing idea that the computer showed with the phone. We both missed it. Knight c5, knight e4 check, knight g4 check, and nothing short of queen d8 with an attack. And yeah, computer showed like only slight advantage for black, but practically it's like already winning from human perspective. So we both missed it. It was amazing. Instead bishop, no, he played queen c7, which was a mistake. Here knight e2, and he played a5, aiming to go bishop a6. I should have allowed it with rook hd1 and c4 and just coming later with the knight to one of these two squares, but for some reason I wanted to prevent it, and I played a shallow prophylactic move. Yeah, and this is where I reached with the engine afterwards. So when I looked later, rook hd1 was the right move. Okay, instead I played this. The game continued in a very quiet fashion. I'm a pawn up, but there is not much. Let's say it's pretty uneventful. It's hard for me to create threats, so I had the idea of playing rook d2, and now I find a nice idea of knight b3 and rook d5. And if he takes, I take on d7. I think I'm having some good winning chances. So he played this very creative move, f5. I was really surprised by it, but it's very nice, preparing knight f6. And I'm a little bit regretful for not playing knight a5 and let's say fe, knight f6, and now any random move that doesn't move the rook. Here I wasn't sure. Like I cannot take on e5, and I thought he has knight e4 check next. But if I just play king f3 or something, or even king e2 actually, if he takes d5, I have a feeling he should be lost, because 2 pawns plus they are both on the 5th rank and protected. So yeah, I'm a little bit regretful for not seeing this. I was only thinking about moving the rook, which is sad, because I had this sacrifice in my mind, and instead I chose to go for another sacrifice. So he wants fe, I played knight d2, aiming to take back with the knight, and he played instantly f4. Probably a good move, but practically it's falling from my idea, bishop d4, and it's very aesthetic in my opinion, this pawn structure. It looks like I blunder the piece, but in fact what I get is like very strong compensation, I'm not sure about the evaluation, but I would say that computer would probably give an advantage for black. But from even in classical games, it feels it's much easier to play with white. So now it's hard for me to recall the moves exactly. I think he played king f7. Now I just played g3. I want to have room for my king on e3 and have more pawns rolling. Yeah, this is where it gets tricky. So if I'm not wrong, you play knight f8. I played rook d6. No, king e3 first. Knight e6. This looks familiar. Rook d6. No, but I didn't allow knight c5. So yeah, I'm missing a move. So let's see if I can find it. Maybe king e7. King e7. Rook d6, threatening rook a6, bishop b5. Now actually a4 was interesting, but I saw it only after making my shallow move king e3, which is also healthy, but not as impressive. Now I play knight f8, and here I remember f4 e5, because now if knight c5 I wanted to take a knight e4, and I was kind of happy. So with my chances to win, and he chose to avoid it. He played knight c7, if I'm not wrong, and now it was funny. I played f5, rook e6 check, something like. So technically it's threatening to make some move repetition. But how did his knight end up on f7 and g5? Something is missing here. So he went to d8, not to c7. Okay, so I played f5, knight f7, check, king f8. Yeah, now I thought that he wants knight d8, rook d6, knight f7, repeating the position, which would seem like a peaceful and logical way for the game to end. But I had other plans in mind. Played g4, and knight d8, rook d6, knight f7, and now knight e4. Wow. I'm not saying it's strong, but it's really, really pleasing to have this position on the board, especially when he has less than 3 minutes, and it's very hard to think. Now I played king e7 and I played g5, and this is such a ridiculous position. I mean, having these 5 pawns next to each other, and it feels like white should be winning, and if he is, it's absolutely insane that I just keep giving up more and more material. Playing like Tal, as they say. So he went for a very logical attempt for some chances. First he played king d7, and I can play e6 check, but I decided to go king d4 first, preparing e6 check and king e5. Now he went h5, hoping for some counterplay before I can promote my pawns, because you cannot stop 5 pawns protected by king and a knight with only 2 pieces. So without giving up both of them, and then you're a piece down. So here h5. So his hope is to push the h pawn. He needs 4 more moves to get a queen and distract my pieces, but I was in time. I played e6 check, f6, and after gf I like the intermediate move. I can play gf, might be winning, but I just play knight b5 check, intermediate move, not allowing the bishop to move anywhere. And here he resigned actually, because if rook b5 gf, black is not in time to stop my pawns. f7 is coming. If king d8, I'll always have d6. So he resigned, and knight b5. I think this is a very nice, let's say, position to have, and especially helps me boost my confidence after such a painful loss in the first round of the day, round number 5. So this was round number 7. I managed to win. Alright, let's move to round number 8. I'm playing a very talented young player who actually outplayed me quite convincingly. Not gonna commentate too much on this game because I kind of have to go very soon. But I just mentioned it in the opening. I have no idea how I should improve. Maybe bishop takes d2. but I'm followed by castles. I played bishop c5, and here I think I made a mistake, knight g4. Something along these lines feels more interesting to me. Yeah, but I chose knight g4, which I think is a mistake. And I thought he will play bishop f4, and then I'll have a6, b4, and my idea is knight takes b4. But I missed that he starts with b4, and I don't have time to react. I went here, and only now this. And if a6, obviously knight takes d4. Yeah, now I started regretting my actions. So I was basically hoping to equalize, which was very difficult. I could tell it's going to be a very difficult task ahead of me, because here in this position it's extremely difficult to finish my development. Castling is not possible. Castling long is dangerous for me. I'm not sure what white should play, but it feels like if he is accurate, he should have a big advantage. He played castles. I think that after hg offered a draw, and I declined, but it's not because I thought I wasn't worse. Just my main idea was that I feel like I have some chances to win in any game, in any position, if it's playable. And if I have a chance for a draw, then it can happen on the board rather than accepting. I'm here to fight, let's say. There's not so much money on the line, and even if there was, I chose chess because I like to play. So playing is my main task. So it's not like I refused the draw as much as I really was curious about the position. So bishop d7, castles, rook c8. My opponent played bishop e3. Yes, I'm pretending to put pressure. Actually, no, I played h6 first. Rook d1, bishop a4, rook c3. And now I didn't castle because I was afraid of g5 ideas, or sacrifice on h6 later. Or even g3, king g2, rook h1 and some attack. So I went g6 with the idea of king f8, king g2. Bishop c4, king f8, rook d1, king g7, rook d4. Now I'm very regretful for not having played rook a3. I feel like it was such a better move. Oh, actually, before king g7 I think I made a precise move, because this bishop doesn't have any squares on this diagonal, so I played g5 first. It's probably even stronger, but I'm not sure. Bishop g3. I think he missed rook take g3, but I'm not sure. He played it too quickly, and funnily enough it's not working for me probably. He has queen f2, but I have this move in the air, so h2 also has some flaws because of back rank mate, but bishop g3 was played quickly. I think he was slightly lucky, or he saw it very fast. So either way, I played king g7 after wasting a minute trying to make some tactics work. And here I'm regretful for not playing rook a3, because if the rook moves I have rook g3, and yeah, I think I have a big edge, because the bishop b3 I'll win a pawn. And in the game I played rook c8 quickly, hoping to play for initiative, and after a strong move, yeah, here I don't have much of an advantage like after rook a3. So I was a little bit annoyed with my play, but he's in a little bit of time trouble. Rook c7, he played king h2, finally addressing my threat, even though it's technically not a threat yet. And now I took finally. Maybe king h2 was a mistake. He played f4, I took. I think bishop f2 was a very interesting move I had missed when taking. I was a little bit afraid, but he took quickly because of the time pressure, and now I managed to trick him. Queen b4. I think black is already better because 2 pawns and his king is also open. So queen f2, rook a4, he played bishop e3, and he fell for this trick, queen g4. Now I think white can resign because I'm 3 pawns up, queen h5 is coming. In the game he took, he missed that here. White is just lost. If king g1, rook a1 check. If king, he played in the game king g3 in the last seconds, and after queen h4 resigned, mate on the next move. So it was an interesting game. I can't say I'm proud of my play, but my opponent is definitely a very talented young player, and I have a feeling we will hear from him in the future. So next game, I'm playing white, last round against the Grandmaster, the strongest opponent I've had in the tournament so far. And yeah, he played this opening. I chose some sideline. I don't think it gives an advantage, but I just wanted to play something quickly. Oh, and actually here after a6 he offered a draw. And once again, it's not like I didn't want to get to secure a prize. I had 6 out of 8, and we had 3. Like the leader had 6.5, which was the guy I lost to in round 5. The first game of this stream. He had 6.5. We were 3 other people with 6. So a draw would mean I would have earned probably 3rd or 4th prize, but I wasn't even thinking about it. Not because I'm a hero, just because I like playing chess, as mentioned. And yeah, this position looks fun. So bishop e3, knight f6, queen f3, and I took queen g3, castles, bishop d3, and rook e8 was played. I think it's a mistake. And now black is slightly worse. In this structure, e5 is what you want to get. So allowing white to play e5 is bad. Computer even suggests e5 in this position as an interesting option. So maybe this pawn sacrifice is a good idea to fight for the initiative. So rook e8, bishop h6, he played g6, castle. He didn't even want the pawn. He just went back. And this is a very lovely position because I have the better bishop, I have better development, and his light squares are horrible. So I played h4. Now I played rook a b1, just preventing bishop d7. I'll analyze this game more deeply in the future. And oh, whoops! I thought he wants b5, so I played bishop e4, not rook a b1. Rook d8, he wants bishop d7 was my thinking. I played rook a b1, and he played this. I think he might have missed bishop c6, but he's a strong grandmaster, so I think he saw it and just wanted to have some counterplay if I take the pawn, and I am very proud of myself for resisting and just preventing his only idea of playing maybe b5 at some point. So now he's gonna be very passive, and I'll just put the rest of the game quite quickly for you guys. h5, and here a funny thing happened. After h6 he realized that there is not much left to do, and his time started to run out, so he just started to repeat the position back and forth, and I played quite quickly, just kept improving slowly. And yeah, here I had this tactic which I saw in earlier variations, but in this particular position I didn't consider it, unfortunately. I completely forgot that it exists. So I played g4, and suddenly I realized while he was thinking that I had rook b7. I played here, and I was thinking how to trick him to go back so I can have rook to b7. By the way, I had another idea in mind. Just want to mention that after king g2, if it was my move here, I would have played bishop takes g6, h7, h8, and I would have won with this idea. And I think it's very nice. So instead of this, so I thought I almost tricked him because the h file is open. Yeah, king g2. I thought I could trick him with g4 to go king f8 and I'll have bishop g6, but I should have used more time to think. Queen h4. Anyway, nothing was ruined. The only idea for him is that if I take, he has rook d1 at the end, and maybe he wants g5, and after queen f6 g4 is hanging. Probably it's winning for me, but it might be close to a perpetual. So I played the move that prevents both things. The bishop keeps an eye on a d1 and protects g4. He just went back, and now I had enough with the queen on h4. Once again I could have taken, and even though I saw it before playing bishop f3, I forgot about it again, which is weird. But I was a little bit nervous from his time pressure, so I played king g3 quickly. Probably I was once again excited about him playing king f8 and having my silly tactic occurring actually here. Yeah, it's still working, I think. Rook h1 and king h4, and I think it's lost. So yeah, I was hoping for it, but he didn't fall for it. After queen e7, king g3, he decided to play actively, which is generally better than playing passively in such positions. He went rook d7, giving up c6, but after bishop c6, rook c7, he has counterplay with rook c3 check. So maybe I shouldn't take it all. I was considering queen f6 actually, and there are other moves. I can also play with the a pawn or whatever, g5, but then this rook can move to d file, So I took with the rook. I think it's fairly decent. He played some move that I don't remember. I think he went with the pawn to b5. No, he went g5 first, queen e3, pawn to b5. And now my technique wasn't perfect, but I think it was okay. Rook h1, rook d8, rook a6, a4 I think was played, or no, he played f5. He wants to exchange the queens even if he loses a second pawn, which is a good practical decision because of the time pressure. And yeah, it's better than getting mated slowly but surely. So now 2 pawns down, he played this. I think bishop e4 is just game over for him, but I played this thinking I'm winning even faster, missing bishop g8. And now, if I'm not wrong, I played rook a7, something like rook h5, rook c8. Now I started like getting a little bit upset because rook c3 check is a little bit annoying, but to my surprise he didn't play rook c3 check. He played something like rook e8 if I'm not wrong, king f4. Now I think backwards. I'm not sure about the move order, but something like this took place in the game. I went rook e5, rook f8 check. I honestly don't remember the exact move order, but something like this took place at some point. No, but okay, so if I'm not wrong, probably rook f8 check, king e3, it's hard to think how things unfolded, but something like this perhaps. Yeah, rook a5. I attacked the b5 pawn. I think it's the way things happened. Let's say he went some random move, and I took. No, but he somehow managed to play with the bishop to d5. So one moment. King f4. Okay, it's hard to think where he put the rook, because once again the position is winning and there was time pressure. It's hard to find the logic behind the quick moves that were played. So let's say he went back. Let's say I went rook e5, aiming rook e7. Let's say he gave a check, went here. Probably it's not how it happened, but I'm just reaching the position that I'm sure took place in the game. This, bishop d5, f3, takes, king g8, takes, rook a8, rook b2, here, king f7, c4, king g6, king somewhere like f4. Maybe I went to d4. He took c5, back, king e5, sorry. I remember playing c6, yeah. Rook c8, takes here, here. Now, I don't know why, but I think it was white to move, because I managed to get my king to e5. Yeah, I lost the tempo somewhere. It's a bit annoying, but let me see what I wrote earlier. I have access to what I had in my phone. I was a little bit proud of what I wrote. So how did I pretend to have this position? Okay, maybe, so yeah, so I was correct. I'm not sure if this what I wrote in the phone is correct, but here after rook h5, rook c8, rook g5, so rook e8, king f4, rook ec8. So far it makes sense. This is what I said. Yeah, now I played rook a5. Okay, rook a5, not rook e5. Now bishop c4. And I went... no, it's the same. I wrote a repetition. And then the same idea. So rook e5, let's say here. Yeah, rook f8. Everything is exactly the same. Yeah, this was the difference. So here he didn't move the king. He played rook c8. I took rook a8. Okay, so I knew a tempo was missing somewhere. So king g8, c4, king f7, king f4. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna stop looking. c5. If I remember, it was taking. c6, rook c8. Took c3, king g6, king e5, king g5, king d5 here, e5 takes, e6 here, here, c4 when he resigned. Alright, and somehow, despite having an interesting blunderfest, let's call it this way, in 2 of these 9 rounds, round number 2 and round number 5, I still managed to win 7 games, and I can't call it win the tournament, but I shared first. So from the prize point of view, it was like winning the tournament. But from the Buchholz, I was second place, and the one who deservedly won the first is the guy from who managed to beat me in the 5th round. Which is the first game of this particular stream. So I don't know how these games look, but my main idea behind this streams of recovering games, the first and foremost is obviously to recover my own games, but also to set an example for myself and for others that this is the first thing you should do after any tournament, especially those when you have no score sheets like Rapid and Blitz. And I think it's a very good thing to do, and it's a nice exercise also in general for memory and whatnot. And what else did I want to say? I had something else in mind. Yeah, probably I'm quite shocked that I managed to share first place, because there were very strong grandmasters, at least 3 players who are quite strong in my opinion, or I say stronger than me, so to speak. Yeah, I was lucky because I didn't face any one of those who are rated above me, and I came from below, and despite having relatively low buchholz, as they call it, tie breaks, I managed to actually snitch the first prize, and it's not very high. I think it's something along the line of, let's call it $400, give or take, a little bit less, but I wasn't expecting to get any prize with the way I played, so yeah, feeling good. And I'll conclude that the Blitz streams that I made helped me quite a lot with my chances to play, because I had some time troubles And even though there was 5 second increment for each move in the rapid event here, I was very calm and able to play quickly because I played so much 3+0, and my opposition, whether they were GMs or FMs who beat me very often, it was a nice training. So there is a famous saying, I don't know how to say it exactly in English, but it's very tough in the training and you can suffer a lot, and then when the actual war starts, then it's a little bit easier. So this was the war, 9 round rapid tournament. I managed to snitch the first place despite playing horribly. Maybe next time I'll manage to snitch it while playing almost decently. So someone in the chat, Christopher Hansen, is asking how much did the traveling cost. I didn't pay anything for the traveling because the rapid event was in Israel and they even had a ride, so yeah, so it was clean gain of $400. It will help me pay for my whatever else I have to add to your support to go to my future tournaments. I mentioned only the European Championship in my streams, but in fact there is also the Germany tournament that I might go in 2 weeks, and of course many more. I want to travel on a monthly basis if possible, so feeling very good in general, and just want to make sure I'm not doing anything wrong with the streams, because I forgot to put an alert box, so in case anybody chose to support me, there was no music notification. So I'll try to quickly check what we have, and then I really have to leave because yeah. So I'm quite shocked that every time I stream spontaneously, there's like between 30 to 60 people who are happy to watch me mumbling things about my chess routine. It's so inspiring for me. So I see many people who chose to subscribe. Thank you for it. And well, nobody was supporting in the financial point of view, but again, I'm not expecting it. I'm just thankful for to whoever chose to do it in the past. Obviously, it's not. I mean, it's far from obvious, and yeah, and the Patreon rewards are going far better than I expected. Even though I have a feeling it might become even better because the streams are going really well, and some people in the chat are asking, Austin, where can I donate? So on the in the description there is a link, the first link, but I didn't set up the on-screen notifications, so if anyone chooses to do so, maybe it's better to hold yourself back from donating now, and you can do it later when I stream while playing Blitz, because you can hear all the sounds and everything, and it creates a lot of positive vibes around the event. So I'm very happy about it. So and obviously it's inspiring. So that's it more or less for now. Managed to recover all the games from beginning to end, which once again is shocking for me every time it happens. I really don't understand how memory works. And for those who think I have good memory based on what you see here, I don't. I mean, it takes me like 20 times to remember someone's name. Or whatever details. I always forget things, meetings. I don't plan anything because I can't remember. Just when it comes to chess and moves, it just seems like these things, when it comes to my games, are getting stuck in my head. And it seems to be the case in every chess player's case that I met, so it's quite ridiculous, because I've heard some memory research was done on chess players, and the brain works very well with this kind of things. So yeah, being able to recall all the moves in my games without having to write them, I think is fantastic, and I'm so thankful that I can do it. And I never really worked on it or trained this ability, and other than attempting to recover. And yeah, I'm very rewarded because my games are saved and I can go through them with an engine and learn from my mistakes, and I can go through them without an engine first probably and be even more mature and learn even more about why I made those mistakes. And I'm feeling so good about having these games just what's the word, documented in a PGN format. So thanks a lot for watching. I'm very grateful for having won the tournament, even though I don't feel like I deserved it, and I don't feel like I've earned it. But this is how sports are. Sometimes you're lucky, and sometimes, very rarely, people like me happen to play it well. But yeah, this time luck was on my side. I had one game that I really loved from tactical point of view. This game you just saw I really loved from technical point of view. I obviously still have a lot to learn, but I'm highly motivated to do so. So if you like what I'm doing and you want to improve your chess for one reason or another, I feel like a very good way to do so might be through the Patreon rewards. And it's not only because it will help me. I honestly structured it in a way that can help people and inspire people to improve even better while creating higher quality content for my channel. So just for example, before starting this stream I had an hour-long stream of a group lesson, and I think about prophylaxis, and it was quite nice. So there's another stream coming up next week, and those who will support through the tips here can still catch the streams this month. And if you want to join only on April, you can do it from the Patreon website, which is also, I believe, in the description. So just to mention quickly, the last two streams are the group hangout, let's say, Q&A, probably gonna be on Friday, so 6 days from now, 7 p.m. UTC, and the last one is gonna be the Banter Blitz on April 1st. It's not a joke. It's gonna be a public stream, I believe, and I'm gonna play again for an hour, something between an hour to an hour and a half, depending on how much I can spare that day, and how many people will show up. So I'm gonna play some Blitz against those who support with $10 or more, so per month. So that's more or less it. It's not too late to join these last two, as I mentioned, if you support from the link in the description. If not, again, I'm not expecting anything, as mentioned. I just want to create some quality content and have it in a way that will help me in my journey to be a professional chess player who's not good enough to make a living only from playing chess. So I'm hoping that people from all over the world will receive value through this channel, and somehow will one day help me avoid losing money from doing the thing that I love. So thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this stream, or at least learned something from it. And if you want to learn some more, then keep watching the next videos.